All right, kitty. About that time. Hope you're doing okay. Squeaky, squeaky, squeaky.
I need to find his ball.
Where's your ball, kitty? There's his Well Shark tunnel. And don't forget, he's got the scratching pad. If it gets real bored, you can come over here to the cat condo. 2 levels. What do you think, kitty? Just gonna nap? Well, might as well get more sleep in. You had your last 20-hour nap earlier. You good kitty, yes you are. Just a nappy kitty. All right, I'll leave you alone. It's fine. All right, we're dealing with 76 degrees Fahrenheit, give or take a few digits. We're at 208,619 miles on the speedometer. It's actually officially 208,619 miles. February 27th of 2024, getting there. A lot of times February 28th is the last day of the month. I don't think it's this case. I got to double check the calendar. I think we get an extra day, if I'm not mistaken, or heard that as a rumor or something. I'll have to find out if it's true. But regardless, I think it goes to February 29th this time around. And that's a blessing, because February is going to be a short month. And that's always the hardest month a lot of times. What I also knows about February is that that's when Valentine's Day is, February 14th. And it's also the shortest and sometimes the hardest month, I always think. Especially if you do things daily. But for other people, some people are paid bi-weekly, sometimes weekly, sometimes people are paid, daily, sometimes people are paid year, or maybe every month, a month, I don't know. Sometimes, I don't know if they're paid every year, but if you're in real estate, maybe, because sometimes in real estate, you be chasing a house for like 3 or 4 years until finally you sell it, or maybe a year, and you make a profit of like $50,000 or $60,000 off the sale. Depending on if the house is $1 million or not, or whatever. I don't know the exact conversion of how much money they make, but in real estate they make quite a bit. All right, so we're on 30. This is I-30, and this is in Fort Worth. This is like pretty much the center of Fort Worth in the Ridgemar area, known as 30 East. It'll head all the way to Arlington if you keep staying on 30. You'll also have the option to break off to 820, where 820 circles Fort Worth just like a gate. They're all the way from Florida. So in Texas, you're going to see a lot of different license plates. Texas is a very busy place when it comes to people, newcomers, and people that come here to work. So it's like, a lot of times, if all else fails, people just go to Texas, especially when it comes to migration. Now, I also find out about migration, too, is a lot of Chinese citizens, I guess you could call them. They actually go to Mexico to cross the border into America, sometimes spending up to $35,000 to $40,000 on mules just to cross in. And a lot of times they're either middle class or even sometimes rich. And they will come here for the American dream. They start with nothing, just like a migrant. They noticed well over thousands and thousands of Chinese coming through the Mexican borders. And here's another thing too, on the Chinese coming into America, they also usually come through the Mexican borders through Texas. A lot of them even have been investigated for spying for China. I used to work at a place in Midway, Dallas, at a bank, and a lot of the Chinese would come in there. Chinese people would come in there, and they would take photos of like everything. But a lot of them were just tourists. They were just taking photos of just the whole. I worked inside of a grocery store inside of a bank. So I worked in a bank inside of a grocery store. And I noticed that. So I don't know, you get a lot of Chinese people coming in through the border supposedly as spies from China. I don't really believe it, but that's what they say. And then, of course, we have a pretty heavy migration problem coming in from Mexico into Texas. And I saw this documentary about Mexico. It really doesn't look that bad. Mexico doesn't. A lot of retirees actually retire to Mexico because their dollar goes further. And it looks like normal cities, suburban cities. I mean, yeah, some of the streets are kind of cobblestone or older looking, but they've got a lot of ancient. Oh, we got a lot of traffic coming up here. tons of traffic. It's February 27th. A lot of people coming to Fort Worth. All you can see through they're headed west, to West Fort Worth right here. A lot of traffic. But yeah, you know, about Mexico, it's like they've got like a lot of ancient culture. They've got one of the largest pyramids in the world. It's covered in grass, but it's like a pyramid, and on top of it is like this church or something. It's really strange. But Mexico City is now the capital of Mexico. It used to be DF, so they just changed it to Mexico City in 2016. But I haven't been to Mexico. I've never been across the border. I've been to the Tijuana border. I've been at the border when I lived in California, but I've never crossed into Mexico. A lot of my friends have. A lot of people have traveled across, but right now, not a good deal. Right now, it'd be really tough. A good movie to watch on that is one called No Country for Old Men. It's actually really one of my favorite movies. By they're called there goes the Florida people right there. They're from Florida right there. By the Coen brothers. Coen brothers, I think they're the second best filmmakers that we have other than David Lynch. I think David Lynch is a little bit better. But I think the Coen brothers are pretty good. They did something just recently. I saw a quick commercial on it. Something with the word girls in it. So I don't know. I haven't really seen it. I don't know. Something, I don't know the title. I just saw it really quick. I don't get to watch a lot of movies anymore. Actually, I do get to watch movies, but I don't get to watch new movies anymore. I watch a lot of older movies. You know, movies that they show for free on YouTube. And I do reviews on them too when they come up. Last night, I found a good channel for horror films known as Alter, A-L-T-E-R. And there's some really good stuff on there. And a lot of those are just being posted on YouTube. So you can watch them for free. They're 20 minutes, sometimes 30 minutes, little short films. Good quality. Some of them coming out film school. Looks like they got some good stuff going on YouTube. And I think I also talk about on YouTube that I like, if you are a filmmaker, feel free to just post your stuff on YouTube. Don't feel like you have to sell your film or screenplay idea or anything like that to the studios of Hollywood. I'm not trying to shut down the studios of Hollywood at all. I'm not trying to do that at all. I don't think that's going to happen. I think we'll always have Paramount. I think we'll always have 20th Century Fox and Disney and all that kind of stuff. I have nothing against those big studio movies or Netflix or Apple movie, but don't feel like you have to post or that you have to send your movie to a studio, or that's the only way to do it, because you'll give up. So since you have YouTube, you can just post anytime you want to. You can go out there and make a movie and just post it, and it's a movie. Just like you can do a song on SoundCloud. Butterflies in the Garden, March 1st, going through April 14th, produced by the Central Market, which is a great place to buy food. And they're having the dinosaurs here now at the Botanic Gardens. It's the BGFW, Botanic Gardens of Fort Worth. And if you remember, you actually get in at a discount. You used to not have to pay for the Botanical Gardens. That was a good place to bring a date, you know, or you had a girlfriend. You could just go drive right in and just camp, take out a basket and romance. Now, you got to pay. So you got to pay to get in to the Botanic Gardens, Fort Worth. But they do have dinosaurs, and the dinosaurs are there now. They are there now. Also, the other thing about Texas is it is bigger than most all other states, other than like Alaska. I don't have to do the research on Alaska and Texas, but Texas is pretty dang big when it comes to continental state. I think Alaska is too, but I'm not out to do that anyway. Once it's coming March 2nd through the 10th, Mary Poppins Jr., April 20th. That's right, Hawaii is the only one that's not continental. Because if you look at it, Alaska is actually connected. You just have to go through Canada. But you know what I mean. Texas is pretty dang big. It's bigger than your state, if you're watching. So Texas is bigger. It's 268,000 square miles. Plus there's a few other, I'm not counting it all. And California is only 163 when it comes to immediate. But Alaska is actually going to be a little bit bigger. 520, 5, and 2.3. All right, so let's review on mileage. Right now, we're going to go ahead and zero that out. So I'm going to count that one. And I would say about half of that. Because I'm only counting half the trip, plus a few. I'd say maybe 15 out of it. Maybe 16. I have to do the math on each one. But we're going to go ahead and zero that one out and get it for tomorrow. So that we have both zeroed out. All right, so the drink that we're advertising, these are absolutely brilliant. They're called Bubbler, and they're very tasty. They're also 5 calories, and they do have stuff in them. So there's different vitamins and things like that in them, just kind of like an energy drink. But they're pretty good, and it's called Bubbler. This taste right here is known as Pitaya Berry Nectar. It's about as good as a Red Bull. All right, we're gonna be passing the Trinity River. You can see it right there, and the skyline of Fort Worth about right there. And sometimes they do go-karts at Rockwood certain days. And you also have mini golf, which is going on currently. Don't know the hours of operation, but it's called Rockwood Go-Karts. They've been there for 60 years. Like tattoo shops, floors, you buy floors and commercial insurance, something called Twister, something Threads of Beauty, kind of things like that. Yeah, it looks like you've got some Winter Motor Co. Just kind of going there. They got some auto sales going on right now. That was a beat up cash card from the 90s. Another one called Yates Brooks Motor. That doesn't look too bad. That Ford looked okay. This old beat up, I don't know what that is really. It's like an old business or something, maybe a trailer home, I don't know. Tire shop. And the Discount Motors, this one's on the other side of that Fort Worth ISD school bus, but right there is Discount Motors. Yeah, maybe not too bad. They finance, so they do even do financing. A little pre-owned vehicle establishment for auto sales. And they got a placement center right here for this Fort Worth students. And then right there's the go-karts, right over that way. Earlier I passed by the Rockwood go-kart. 7:53 on the arrival. That's 1 minute, 0.5 mile. All right, 8:22, 5 minute, 2.7. Looks like we got the go-karts going right now at Rockwood. You ever see that movie, The Village? You know, M. Night Shyamalan. Every time I see a fence like that, it always kind of reminds me of that movie. Remember they were like way back there in this country area. There's like a fence like that. All right, looks like it won't be till Christmas time. Around maybe November, I'll be able to get that MacBook Pro. I was a little off on budgeting. I may be wrong, I'm not for sure, but I'm thinking around this December. So it'll be after October, maybe November. It might be November. So it's all about budgeting and everything. It's gonna take some time. So it's gonna take a little bit of time. Anyway, we're gonna head back to see Linda and Kitty. kitty.
Oh gosh.
There's Linda.
Hi there.
Okay.
Now, do you know what happened to that ball?
You mean the pink one?
Oh, this one.
The yellow one?
Yeah.
He only likes those for some reason.
Let's see if he likes it, or he might still be on laser light.
Seems to be focusing more on the laser light. There he goes. Oh, went for the ball. Well, he finally got up. He's been sleeping for 16 hours.
Neither.